It is overtime here again at Old Favorite Friday, where we discuss incredible classic beers and give them the love and attention they so rightfully deserve. And this week's beer is from a brewery that has been featured many, many times on Old Favorite Friday. We've actually featured more Bell's Brewing beers than any other brewery, and that is because they make incredible beer, for one. And for two, I'm very familiar with these beers being from Michigan originally, so I know a lot of these beers. I know how good they are. I've had them. I have fond memories of a lot of these beers. So when I have a chance to get my hands on them, I get really excited. Not all the beers I featured on Old Favorite Friday in general are actually available in South Florida, where I'm filming this from. So I'm lucky that people will send me beer from time to time, or they'll recommend a beer for me. And this is the beer that I actually had to drive out of my immediate area to get my hands on. I was in the Tampa area. This is a year-round beer for Bell's, but it's not available in South Florida. But in the Tampa area, it was. I was able to grab it, and I'm excited to talk about it because it's a style that I absolutely love in a robust porter. For anyone that followed the channel on a regular basis will also know that we just did Smutty Nose Robust Porter a few short weeks ago. It's a style that's underrepresented. We don't see enough porters, in my opinion, out in the market in general. It's a style that's kind of become a little passe, but I don't understand why, because they're absolutely wonderful beers. A robust porter is also can be synonymous with an American porter, and robust is pretty self-explanatory as opposed to like a traditional brown porter from England. These are more robust. They're bigger in ABV. They usually have more roastiness and also a little more of a hop profile in a robust porter. So if you see that American porter, robust porter, they're kind of synonymous with one another. This beer hits all those categories really, really well. There's a great roast presence to this beer. There's a nice hop profile as well, which is, as I just said, appropriate. But I like the fact that you're getting both hop bitterness and roast bitterness in this beer. I think it really rounds the mouthfeel out and makes the beer a little more complex than if you were just relying on the roast to give you that bitter aspect. You've got the classic coffee flavors there. You've got the dark chocolate. There's a nice on the nose. You get almost a slight fruitiness and like some sweet cream on the nose, but the beer is bone dry. It's nice. And like I said, roast bitterness, so there's no sweetness here, but you're picking it up on the nose. And I am getting a little bit of like a dark dried fruit. It's really subtle. It's not like in your face at all. So, some people say, oh my God, I don't want my beer to taste like fruit. No, it has a slight nuance of that kind of like blackberry raisin. It comes out just a little bit inside the beer. Overall, kind of medium bodied, rich, full flavored. I mean, it just kind of washes over the tongue. Really impactful as far as the flavor profile goes here, and really delivers the goods when it comes to a porter. And like I said, a style that I absolutely love. Bell's has been brewing this beer since 1987. It was the first time they brewed the beer in '87. So I was 6 years old the first time this beer was made. So I guess it fits the description for Old Favorite Friday. It is year round. So if you're lucky enough to have this available to you, good for you. I wish it was available in my local market because I'd be drinking it all the time. Uh, what do we pair with a robust porter? There's a lot of things you can do. Traditionally, blue cheeses, like mild blue cheeses, are always recommended. People like them with burgers. People like it with like dry rubs, as far as barbecue. All good things for a porter. I was thinking about something interesting for this in doing like a peanut crusted chicken or pork, and then maybe finishing off with like a blackberry compote, like a sweet blackberry sauce. Couple reasons for that. The saltiness of the peanuts, really good for porters in general. And then you add a fruit complexity to it because you have some of those dark fruit flavors already in the beer. Kind of a little bit of like a jamminess will bring that out, will bring those fruit flavors out. And also a little bit of sweetness in the dish is really nice because there's no sweetness here in the beer. So you have a nice complement thing where the dish is really adding different flavors to the beer and vice versa. I think it would be dynamite. If anyone wants to try that out, and let me know if they can get your hands on this robust porter or another really good one out there like Smutty Nose. There's some other really good porters out there that you can all get your hands on. Listen, I highly recommend it. Bell's Porter, Bell's in general. I can't make a recommendation of a brewery that I appreciate more, or I can say that does it right every time out. Then Bell's. There's other ones like that, like Sierra Nevada comes to mind, New Belgium comes to mind. But they're in that upper echelon of American craft breweries that know how to make beers to style. And when you're looking to really understand craft beer and understand what these styles are supposed to mean, you can fall back on those breweries kind of across the board to find out, okay, what is a hazy IPA? What should it taste like? What is an American or a West Coast IPA? What is it supposed to taste like? If you find those examples from some of these classic breweries, it can allow you to have a baseline in which you can kind of understand how the other interpretations are being done in the craft beer world. Listen, please poke around the channel, see other videos of us talking about incredible classic beers that we love. Please leave some comments. Let me know if you're trying any of these beers or if you have recommendations. I mean, we love recommendations here at Old Favorite Friday because we want to know what you're drinking. Obviously, the beers that I'm gonna have to love them to feature them, but a lot of the beers you guys recommend, I'm very well familiar with, and just maybe didn't think about it. It's been a long time since that beer crossed my mind, and we'll see you next time on Old Favorite Friday. Cheers.